Hey people, Injured here, 53 Faction War. This is Gaesark, Undercity and Tyranids versus the Imperial Guard. For the blue Tyranid team, we have Haidran already making a tunnel with a Ravener Alpha. Great mobility and offense begins in range combat but can get specialized melee gear. Alongside here, two Hive Tyrants. First up is VR, and we've got good old Hiveminion. These guys walk through objects and cannot be suppressed. Powerful offense, disruption and support. Very durable fellas that begin in melee combat with a basic synapse. I shall call them Fabiana and Sophia. Sister Hive Tyrants over here. For the red team, 531st is a Lord General. Fights in range combat begins with a retinue of stormtroopers. Can add to this retinue throughout the game, giving him more abilities, very strong defense and support. And this is the Death Core of Krieg DLC. Alongside here, Cursecrab with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support. Fights in melee combat begins with a refractor shield and some more Death Core of Krieg. It's going to be very grim. Going in on the Tyranid army there, rounding off the team, shoulder mount with an Inquisitor, offensive hero of powerful battlefield control. Begins in melee combat but can get specialized ranged weapons, chasing off some termagants. And what is this? Oh, this is the Armageddon Steel Legion Elite scheme, recolored to kind of look like the Death Core of Krieg. Ground pound popped up over here. A bunch of spore mines coming out early. Could be interesting. Termagants getting stomped around there. By interesting, I mean some dead guardsmen. Well, more than usual. Another ground pound coming up on this Sentinel of Cursecrab, doing some good work early on with that Lord Commissar. Is a good hero for those early skirmishes against low health fellas like termagants. Can get in and do some work. Look at this. Might have to face off against the rest of Hiveminion's army, but Fabiana's still here. She's found some guardsmen to try and consume. There's a lot of las guns. Helping out here is Sophia from Hiveminion. Okay, Fabiana I think should have stayed in there. VR could have kept that Hive Tyrant around. Meanwhile, northeast where there's a contested VP, it's turning red for the guard. Lord General looks quite happy. I think he lost at least one of those retinue fellas in melee or something, but repurchasing in the field because he can do that. Hiveminion's Hive Tyrant is still stomping around, just ready to leave though, and maybe Cursecrab can cap here and perhaps poke this power a bit. There's only a node up though. What do we have over here? Two gens, and on the battlefield a warrior brood for Hiveminion and a warrior brood for Haidran. These guys start off in power melee, can leap into combat. There it is. Provide a basic synapse, which is important for a Ravener Alpha because they do not provide any synapse. Basic synapse, for those that don't know, gives some defensive bonuses to nearby non-synapse creatures like these termagants and hormagaunts. A little bit of suppression resistance and some damage resist. And some special effects too, like these hormagaunts, if they're under synapse, they can jump over stuff. Sentinel should be okay here. Double termagants chasing and hormagaunts chasing. 470 to 456. Those guardsmen are all alone. Need to back the hell away. Southwest, you have these two natural VPs, one in the western side, one on the south side. Hiveminion looking after the south. Triples, where are they? All these spore mines. Didn't see any detonate. That one's been... No, that hasn't been detonated. They are waiting for victims, I suppose. Lord Commissar's got the power sword up, allows him to disrupt with lead by example, and it's always handy to have a power melee weapon. Inquisitor with their default loadout at the moment. There's a barbed strangler for Hiveminion. Instant suppression and some decent damage in the AoE. You have to get relatively close to fire it. You just saw the Hammer of the Witches starting ability for the Inquisitor. One of the better starting abilities in the game, I think. A hard stun with some damage on it too. She is forced to leave though. Got a bit too close to some angry aliens. Spawn mines here chasing. Catechins though take the field for Cursecrab. In fact, Catechins take the field for all three players. Where are shoulder mounts? There they are. These guys act as detect units, which is not really an issue playing against Tyranids usually, unless you've got Raveners borrowing or something. They can also get stuck into melee with power weapons. Disrupt, support, all sorts of good stuff. Do act as a kind of a micro-intensive unit though, especially when you're already trying to work out how to get your Sentinel out of trouble and keep it repaired and stuff. good shotgun blast, but that's a lot of damage from those spawn mines, as you saw. Hive Tyrant here, still nice and healthy too, Fabiana. More spawn mine detonations, does that damage over time effect these days. The stomp does hit the Hive Tyrant. Hiveminions is off the field right now, going back to base. Fabiana stays in play, eats another stomp. Inquisitor ignores her though. Into some termagants, maybe a special attack. There we go. Pretty good one. 360 knockback, I think. Decently quick animation. Usually sacrifice damage though when you're... Oh. Down goes that Sentinel when your special attack is 360 knockback and quick animation. But you generally want them for the disruption. That was a Catachan all-reliable grenade launcher going off. Lord the General slicing up some termagants there. Did lose both of those stormtroopers, but hey, there's more where those fellas came from. Raveners are just backing away. Here's a Ravener brood from Haidran with ranged Devourer weapons. We have a heavy weapon squad for Cursecrab. Now you can't suppress these Hive Tyrants, but you can make them think again about hitting you head on. They'll take a hell of a lot of damage if they get close to a heavy bolter. Catachans of shoulder mounts might be able to get a nasty flank on these Hormagaunts here. These are Cursecrabs. Shoulder mount has gone for double Catachans. These guys are actually capping and not interested in a flank. And then these Catachans just weren't paying attention. Could have got some melee attacks on there. Retreating units taking extra damage from melee attacks, 30% more, which can be very painful when it's like a power weapon versus heavy armor or something. Hiveminion goes tier 2. VR already in tier 2 with triple Hormagaunts in tier 1. I don't see any adrenal glands for those fellas. Haidran's warriors must be in a tunnel. In fact, a bunch of stuff must be. Here we go. Here it is. 394 to 403. Are there any other? There's one here near the power. One at base, obviously. One here. I think that's all of them. You should try and get one in the northeast corner if they can. Not wanting to push for... Oh, there we go. Double Catachans also for 531st. Can they micro 2 Catachans? These two players here, shoulder mount and 531. Ravener Brood get in there with a Burrow Strike. Warrior Brood doing some good workings. The guards, when they took them down, in fact, those guys trying to do their shotgun blast. There we go. Just a little bit too far away from the Hormagaunts. But yeah, good engagement in the end for Haidran. Haidran? Not sure I meant to say that word. Lord Commissar's getting stuck in with that power sword. Lead by example. Lets him do those special attacks constantly. Great for disruption. And stubbornness is in play. Hive Tyrant there, happy to stand and trade. Sentinel gets a level, gets some repairs too. Hiveminion is helping out. Not sure where Sophia is. Back at base already. Oh no, Fabiana's gone down. Might get a revive there if Hiveminion can push through a little bit. We've got some G-Stealers up already for VR. In fact, double G-Stealers. This is a hell of fun. Not sure how effective it's going to be. I mean, in tier 3, with double Rending Claw G-Stealers against tanks and stuff, they could do some work for sure. But there's Catachans, there's heavy weapon squads and things. Might not be able to get into melee. Talking about might not be able to get into anywhere. There's Warrior Brood wiped out by some Catachans, I think chaining knockback together and getting it for some power melee attacks. Some good play there from 531st, although they are down to just 3 units in tier 2. Haidran is forced off though, and they can retake the northeast. I haven't seen much help up there yet. We do have a Bane Wolf though from shoulder mounts. Gets those G-Stealers out of there. What were they trying to do? Power bash or decap or something? Do we see any anti-vehicle? We do see a Venom Brood from Hiveminion. They're getting a ranged synapse bonus as well. We have Walk Field and improved synapse for Hiveminion as well, so we might see the Venom Cannon in there. Can't get the revive right now. Imperial Guard might be able to push through, do some work on the power, because they do have the northeast. Sentinels working on this node. We have a Inquisitor capping. They could shoot down the Capillary Tower also. Gene Stealers dealt with. They're going to get on the power here with a Bane Wolf, of course. Fantastic unit for taking down power. Look how quickly it bashes. That is nasty. That chem cannon, pretty good at its job. We have some sneaky catachans. These guys will infiltrate if they are kept idle, putting down some explosives. Lots of disruption, frustrating those Tyranids trying to get close. A little bit of power harass. Couldn't quite get the entire farm down. Being cautious, I think, is smart here. I say that, and the Bane Wolf just drives into a bunch of Tyranids. Oh, good grief. Taking a lot of damage very quickly. Very quickly. It's going to go down. Those electroshock grubs on the back there. And down it goes. So much for being cautious. The tide can turn so fast, but Imperial Guard are standing their ground here. They've got Guardsmen with Commissars and Sergeants in, taking up 12 models, and plasma guns are in hands here. We do see Hiveminion going for the Venom Cannon, getting ready for the inevitable Tier 3 armor from Imperial Guard. The Zone Thrope in play for VR. Did Sophia get away? She did, barely. 324 to 332 double cap here for the Guard. They've had a strong Tier 2. They've come out swinging, or shooting rather. Using these Guardsmen well, of course, you can stop retreats and stuff with the Commissar squad leader there. Get them out of trouble, stop that retreat, and keep on fighting. Are we going to see it here from shoulder mounts? Nope, they're happy to just go all the way back, I think. Still have this heavy weapon squad covering things too with suppression. Zone Thrope should be able to get shots on it, but I assume that's going to be put under pressure. There's a triple cap. Shoulder mount got the bottom. Sentinel barely escaping, 19 hit points. Where's the Inquisitor? She's off. I think she was the one who capped, maybe. Yep, and Fabiana's still down. A Warrior Brood for Haidran with the Thorax Swarm. Oh, the big old heavy turret though. Global ability of the Lord General. Great Devourer there for the Ravenant Alpha I saw, and the Synapse Aura for damage. Tyranids are really pushed back. Look at the map here. It's very, very red and guard-like, although Hiveminion is starting to creep across the bottom again. They didn't take down his tower, which was bad, because as you can see, let's give him bonuses, speed buffs and things to these Tyranids. But one thing you don't want to give to your enemy Tyranids, it's a speed bonus. Still can't get close to the corpse, the twitching figure, I should say, of Fabiana. She's not quite dead. She's still in there. Gene Stealers get into melee. Oh, not quite. Catechins are there to knock back. Yeah, the Gene Stealers haven't really been able to do a whole lot of anything so far. It's been quite tough for them. Don't think it was a super good choice with all the Catechins and the heavy weapon squad. Quite happy though to fight the mid, aren't they here? The Guard. They haven't really put a huge amount of pressure on the VP. I mean, they did cap it, but they haven't like tried to sit there and invite the Tyranids onto them. They're quite happy to try and hold the mid here, which of course allows you to protect your top tower. Tyranids though getting through, I think. They've got enough bodies, they've got through here. And Hiveminion on the VP. Could switch to a, maybe even a triple if VR can get top. They do have double Zone Throats. And we see some Ogrins for 531st. Who's having a good old back and forth up there against Haidran, it looks like. We have a Sentinel with missile launchers. Here's Hiveminion going to get that cap. I see a red dot going after them. Uh-oh. It was Catechins and those guys ran away. It's a 1-to-1. 190 to 332. Decent VP lead here for the Guard. That is a creeping barrage from the Lord General. Missing the, I think it was going for the Gene Stealers there. But that was nasty. Synapse explosion from a Warrior dying and a Basilisk Flare means let's just leave, say the Tyranids. A level 3 Ravenant Alpha. Tier 3 for Cursecrab. Shoulder mount already there. Hiveminion already there. And Haidran also goes. Starting to set up shop, are you, Mr. Lord General? You've got a heavy turret and a multi-laser turret. Zone Thrope is trying to get shots on. These things actually have vehicle armor though, so unless you're using your focus warp blast, you're not going to do a whole lot with your psychic PvP damage. Heavy weapon squad moving up. Been quite cautious with these guys so far. Oh, is this a new one? I think it's the same one. They've got a bunch of XP. 171, 332, back on the 2-1 of the guard. There's that Hammer of the Witches. He's actually still pretty decent in melee combat, the Hive Tyrant, when he's got his Venom Cannon. He even has a special attack, I believe. I mean, they would be. Instead of big old mean alien. Zone Throat runs away. Yeah, there's no anti-vehicle up there aside from the corrosive shots from this thing. And Haidran's army is like mid. Sure what they're up to, just supporting the general push here, I suppose. And Quack Static from 531st hasn't even tried to decap this. There are Gene-Stealers waiting as well. Looks like it's VR who's coming top to have a go. Maybe because these double Gene-Stealers can tear through the Ogrins and there's no Catachans. Oh, there are Catachans from... There they are. There's no heavy weapon squad at least. That's quite painful. And that turret is doing some work. Yeah, I don't think those fellas are going to get away. Are these fellas going to get away? I don't think they did. Both of the Gene-Stealers fall. This turret did so much work then. Hadachan's got their disruption off at just the right time. And now the Zone Throats are being caught by Ogrins. Ogrins stood up way better than I thought they would actually. Maybe they had, yeah, they might have had a medical kit heal going off in there. We've got a full retinue for the Lord General. One Zone Throat falls, the other one is going to be okay, I think. So grenade launchers and flak jacket for the Lord General, and it really seemed to help out there. Used his abilities well. 531st was up against a hell of a lot of units, and VR got kind of wrecked, down to 2 units here. And down goes Sophia. So did Fabiana again. It's Haidran now to defend the power. A Neuro Throat for Haidran has to flee. Those are some quick Catachans buffed by the grenade launcher. Move, move, move. And incoming, of course, with the defensive bonus. They're a menace, those guys. They're a bit too close to base. And those Tyranid base turrets are the ones that knock you over. Gets back the natural. It's a 2-1 again for the guard. Shovels. We have a Kasrikin squad with grenade launchers that constantly disrupt. And no armor. I said the inevitable Imperial armor, and we've got no tanks whatsoever. And such a lie. The only vehicle we've seen, in fact, aside from the Sentinels, has been the Benwolf. Unless I missed the Chimera going down or something. Okay, turret was dealt with, and Tyranids get on to the northeastern VP. I mean, 531st didn't have a lot of units here, so a concerted, well-managed push would have got rid of them. Multi-laser turret goes down as well. They are going to grab this. Should be going after that power as well or something. Bunch of guard in the mid. Carnifex on the field. This is Hiveminions with a barbed strangler. And that is Judgment from the Inquisitor. Where is she? Oh, she's run away. She has to wait 20 seconds, I think it is, before she can activate the Judgment. It might be less now. And a Fist of Brockus for the Lord Commissar. Also got Carapace and, of course, that Stubbornness, and is pushing through to get at least a decap. 105 to 304 guard are also back on the northeast. 531st massive retinue and Ogrins and stuff right here. Tyranid formation is dodged. Level 2 Ogrins are stomping around. Carnifexes though. Carnifexes are a thing. Haidran's got one on the way, and so has VR. Lord Commissar dodges that barbed strangler shot. Eats a claw to the face, but he's still going. He's a tough bastard. Now fighting some Rippers. Do they give XP? I think they do. A little bit of XP and 2 red. I'll take 2 red for a little Ripper kill. Kasrikin now flowing through some more infantry. We have Kasrikin for 531st, and now some more on the way for Cursecrab. Tyranids are pushed back here. Really haven't been able to get a foothold in the mid. Zone Throat getting some juicy shots on those big clump of guardsmen. 24 of them just huddled together there. This Hive Tyrant's going to struggle to do anything, I think, from VR. Or Fabiana. She's got no war gear. Boom, we do have another Barb Strangler Carnifex though. That engagement at the top where VR lost a bunch of stuff has really taken the momentum away, if they had any. These Barb Strangler Carnifexes though can do some work, that's for sure. Electroshock grubs on the Sentinel. More Barb Strangler. That's a smaller one though from those fellas. I wish the Hive Tyrant could get a Barb Strangler, that'd be hella fun. Kicking off at the top. Holding their ground are the Imperial Guard with that incoming buff. And of course those grenade launcher move for the Ogrins. And they held their own pretty well there. Got away. Barb Strangler Carnifex from Haidran though can do this. Boom. Big chunk of health of those Catachans. But hey, they took it. These guys are level 4. They've seen some stuff. Euro Throat. I guess it could disrupt and things. Kasserkin with no upgrade over here for 531st. They do have some hotshot las guns by default though. Oh, that could be nasty. That was a Cataclysm into a Barb Strangler Carnifex shot. That was very nasty. What is this? Oh, it's a drop. It's a without number drop. Meanwhile, bottom. Hey, we got a tank. A Lehman Russ from shoulder mounts. And they're going to go after those Carnifexes. Maybe they were waiting for the Carnifexes to show. Oh, there's a nasty Cogartus as well from shoulder mount. Hiveminion, Hive Tyrant falls. Fabiana's going to die so fast. 57 to 299. Haidran asking for caps because this is they're low on VPs as you can see, just 57. Double now for the Tyranids, but not for long. Looks like they lost some stuff in that push. Lost 2 Hive Tyrants, that's for sure. Tyranids though are taking a northeast back, trying to get on this power, or at least bash it. And hey, Termagant's going for the forward cap there. Now 531st, not wanting to fight the Neurothrope and the Carnifex again, comes towards the bottom points. We have a Vanquisher Lehman Russ, specialised against large targets, such as, hey, 30-foot aliens. See the Carnifex here having to go back to base to heal up. They don't have any symbiosis zone threats. They have no zone threats, I don't think. Tyranids need to hold their natural here and hope that Haidran can hold the top and maybe bash the power over here, perhaps. The Guard are not sitting back here. Well, shoulder mount isn't, bringing a tank to the VP. Kicking off in the mid as well. Big fight here. Ogrins going after Carnifexes with their heavy melee damage. They will tear through them. This Barb Strangler Carnifex needs to be shooting these Ogrins here, keeping them suppressed. They're still chasing it back. That's a rocket run. And I think it pretty much was, well, not quite completely dodged as Ravener Brood got hit, but they wasn't too bad. Could have been a hell of a lot worse, that's for sure. Ogrins are persuaded to leave, but a decent push there. Got the Tyranids to retreat, which gives them time to cap, perhaps. A lot of stuff here. It's a lot of guns. They do bunch up though, don't they? If a Tyrant formation spy hits that, it's not going to be pretty. Shoulder mount getting their natural VP back is 57 to 167. Another Lehman Russ here for shoulder mounts. We've got a Venom Brood for VR. Both of those Hive Tyrants still down. Tricky. Oh, we have a Lictor for VR. Tricky place to revive them too. Especially poor old Fabiana over there. Lictor Alpha gets spotted by the Catachans. They know Lictors. It's not a Lictor Alpha. It's just a Lictor. He's pretty good though. They have taken blue team's natural. Lots of shooting going on. Ouch. Barb Strangler Carnifexes are awesome. Those guardsmen are not going to live. There's a Cogartus. Pretty nicely done by shoulder mount. Nicely timed. That holds the VP for now. Is that a Lehman Russ called in by 531st? No, that was a reinforcement drop by the Vox operator. Tyranids having to fight two slightly different fronts here. Oh, it's the Leman Russ is going to go down. Goes down from Barbed Strangler shots, but this Carnifex also might go down. Not sure why the Inquisitor's getting into melee. Just shoot it. Does not shoot it. It's right there. It's almost dead. Going for it now. Just took... Yeah, shot him out, gets it down. Just took his eyes off the Inquisitor for a second there. But gets it down. 14 to 167. 2-to-1 cap for the Guard. Tyranids didn't quite get their Carnifex machine going quickly enough. And they're kind of being shot down here. There's another Vanquisher Leman Russ. 1-to-1 cap. Go top, says Hiveminion. Are they took into VR or did Haidran come bottom? Haidran's like healing up right now. And they are taking it back with Ogrins. They are smart enough to cap. Level 4. Turn formation there. And they're decapping over here. This could be GG. I don't think they can get to the top in time. I believe Haidran's trying to using the tunnels. But there's the single. A without number was dropped in, I think. It's not going to be enough time. There's a single cap. And there it is. The Guard take it. Let's have a look at these heroes. End of the game. Raphan Alpha was level 5. VR Hive Tyrant level 2. And only level 1 for Hiveminion's Hive Tyrant. They had a rough time, those two Hive Tyrants in the mid there. Level 7 Lord General, level 7 Lord Commissar, and a level 6 Inquisitor. I think VR's ill-fated engagement at the top, running in those double Gene Stealers. The double Gene Stealers in general did basically nothing from what I could see. He got in on the Ogrins, I guess, did some work there. But the Ogrins stood up to him, and they all died. And it was a really bad fight for VR, and he couldn't quite come back from that. Got the Carnifex up, but couldn't follow it up again quickly enough. And yeah, the Hive Tyrants just like didn't do much. Were shut down, were focused down pretty fast. Well played, Red Team. Well played, the Guard. They take the game. Thank you for watching, guys. Big thanks to these players for taking part and for Impregnable for hosting. I'll see you next time.